The cardiovascular system, Tom Hopper. The cardiovascular system is used in sport and for everyday life. It consists of the heart, blood vessels and the blood. It transports gases, nutrients, wastes and hormones around the body to help muscles contract. The system has many different functions, and these are to deliver nutrients through the bloodstream, remove waste products like carbon dioxide via the lungs, transporting oxygen through the systemic circuit to working muscles, blood clotting, thermoregulation, which is keeping the body at a stable temperature by taking blood to the skin if they are cold, or sending it away if they are warm. And it holds white blood cells to protect the inner cells from being inhibited by potential toxins. The cardiovascular system has two circuits. One is a systemic circuit, and this pumps blood out of the left ventricle via the aorta, down the blood vessels, and then reaches capillaries, where the oxygen is given to the working muscles. After it goes over the capillaries, and then back down the vena cava into the deoxygenated blood-filled right atrium. Then there is the pulmonary circuit, which is related to the lungs, and the blood travels from the right atrium to the right ventricle, and then escapes out of the pulmonary arteries to the lungs to remove waste CO2, and then picks up oxygen from breathing in, and this is oxygenated blood, travels down the pulmonary vein to the left atrium to start the circuit again. The heart is crucial for health and well-being, but it also is crucial for sport, as it realises that you're doing exercise and blood is needed, so it pumps blood quicker and in higher volume to the working muscles. This, however, depends on your health, and some older people usually have a much lower stroke volume and beats per minute. The heart is made up of 4 different chambers: the right atrium, the right ventricle, the left atrium and the left ventricle. The heart also has other parts which helps with the distribution of blood. For example, the aorta, the superior and inferior vena cava, which are the vessels for blood, the different valves which let and stop blood from flowing through into the other chamber or vessel. Also, the heart's layering consists of the epicardium and endocardium, which help protect the heart, and also the myocardium, which contracts to pump blood around as well. The cardiac cycle is the process of blood going around the heart's chambers. It consists of 2 parts, diastole and systole. Diastole is when the heart is relaxed and the blood just moves due to pressure, and it fills due to pressure, as 70% of the blood moves from the atria into the ventricles. However, systole is the pumping of blood, and this moves the blood up from the ventricles out of the vessels and through the bloodstream. The conduction system is an electrical impulse process that helps the heart process occur. It starts at the sinoatrial node and then travels to the atrioventricular node, and after that through the bundle of His to then reach the bundle branches at the inferior part of the heart. The impulse wants to get to the top of the heart, and the Purkinje fibres help them do that, which then pushes the blood up the heart to other areas. Both of these processes follow a similar pattern, and this is because the conduction system impulse forces the blood after atrial diastole in the ventricle due to the pressure of 70% goes through. It sort of shepherds the blood around the heart so it can be sent around the body, and the impulses come more frequently if the body is exercising and blood is needed in higher proportions, so more is being demanded, and this could be to do with adrenaline or more exercise, and the heart beats faster. Blood is made up of different components. Firstly, red blood cells, or erythrocytes, and these hold hemoglobin, which carries oxygen around to working muscles, and this hemoglobin gets the oxygen from the lungs. Next is white blood cells, and these fight any infections, germs that potentially come into the body. Penultimately, platelets, and these form blood clots to stop the bleeding and act as a sort of plug. Finally, there are plasmas, and these carry nutrients through the blood. And on its own, plasma is a yellow liquid, as shown in the PowerPoint, after being separated in a process called a centrifuge, and plasma makes up 55% of blood. There are 5 different types of blood vessels that takes blood on this journey to and from the heart. It begins with arteries, and these have thick walls with smooth muscle fibre to help with the blood being pumped away from the heart, and this blood is oxygenated. Next is the arterioles, which are there to link the arteries and capillaries, but also constrict and dilate to control the blood flow. Next, the capillaries, and these are tiny vessels, but there is a huge supply of them. They are 1 cell thick, but this allows them to transport their contents to surrounding areas quicker. Their main function is gaseous exchange of oxygen, carbon dioxide and other wastes. Then there are venules, which unite to form a vein but transport blood from capillaries to veins. Finally, there are the veins, and these have 3 layers of tissue that are thinner, and they have valves to stop any blood flowing back, and these act as like a pocket or plug to stop the backflow. This is the final stage of transporting deoxygenated blood back to the heart after the capillaries used up all the oxygen.